and welcome back to Exam Ignite. This is the next module, that is module 2 of the series that I had started, Universal Human Values. So let's get started. The syllabus of the module 2, module 1 is already uploaded in the channel. Please do watch it and then continue with the module 2. The module 2 syllabus is harmony in the human being, understanding human being as in coexistence of the self and the body, distinguishing between the needs of the self and the body as an instrument of the self, understanding harmony in the self, harmony of the self with the body, program to ensure the self-regulation and health. So let's get started with the important MCQ questions. So each human being is a coexistence of self and body. Which of the following does not assume things, that is body, which helps self in exploration and interaction with the rest of the nature is our body. In which way body system works is it is self-organized. What is the nature of our body? It is physiochemical. What is the nature of self? It is conscious. What is the basic capacity of the self is known as the power. The capacity of selecting or tasting is called expectation. Which of the following is the capacity leads to the desires, that is thoughts. Imagination in the activity of, it is desires, thoughts, and expectation. Imagination is it is continuous with time. Which of the following is incorrect? So, needs of the body are permanent. It is wrong. Needs of the body are temporary. What we analyze keep changing. The activity of analyzing is continuous, and self is also called consciousness. Physical facilities are required in what quantity? It is limited. Which of the following comprises the activities of choosing and imagining is self? Any entity that has an activity of recognizing and fulfillment only can be called as material entity. Clothing, nutrition, etc. are the needs of our body. Trust, respect, happiness, etc. are the needs of self. The needs of self are continuous in time, and needs of the body are temporary. The needs of the body are temporary, while the needs of the self-care are continuous. Physical facilities are required in limited quantity. If the needs are naturally acceptable, I want them continuously. The needs of cells are qualitative in nature and we want them in continuously. The needs of the body are ensured by physiochemical things. The needs of the self are ensured by right understanding and right feeling. By right understanding, we become responsible to ourselves. Choosing and imaging are the activities of self. The participation of the human being in ensuring the role of physical facility to help and pursue its utility is called as artistic value. Material units are temporary in nature. Human being is coexistence of I, that is myself, and the body, self. The needs of I can be called as happiness or sukha. The needs of I, as it is qualitative, then the needs of the body as it is quantitative. Self is a conscious entity, body is a material entity. Sukha depends on our thinking. The activities of desire, thoughts, and expectation at the level of self are collectively called as imagination. Material units are temporary in nature. The activities in I are continuous. Does right understanding provide the basis for ethical human conduct? No, the statement is wrong. Which of the following enables us to discover that values are a natural outcome of the right understanding? The right understanding. Comprehensive human goal at the level of the individual is right understanding. The self is conscious in nature, while a body in nature is physiochemical. The self and body interact with each other via the activity of selecting and tasting. When we assume something about on prevailing notion, it is called preconditioning. The body's need are qualitative and we want them continuously because self should replace the body, and the statement is false. Recognition and fulfillment between the material entities is always definite. A being is a selfless body. Human interaction is called behavior. Human rest of the nature interaction is called work. The power or force for the activity of analyzing is thought. The power or force for the activity of imaging is desire. The activities of the body that is in response are assuming, knowing, recognizing, and fulfilling. So, in response to the body, it is recognizing and fulfilling. There can only be a qualitative change in the conscious units. What type of decisions does our self make? It makes a decision to send the instructions to the body, the decisions to read the sensations from the body. And when I am angry, who is experiencing the anger? Self. The dash is central to human existence. Self is central. Then resolution means right feeling and right thought. Seeing the self by self means consciousness observing the consciousness. Seeing the body by self means consciousness observing the material. Seeing the coexistence of the self means conscious observing the conscious, coexistence, observing the distance between the self and the body, observing the relationship between the self and the body. So all of these are called seeing the coexistence by self, which is our correct statements. So thought of competing reduces the feeling of opposition, thought of nurturing reduces the feeling of affection and care. My happiness and unhappiness depends on the feeling and thoughts. So all of these are the correct statements. Dash is a central to human existence, self, which is the role of human beings in this existence. Understand the coexistence, to have the feeling and the thought of coexistence, to live in the coexistence in a mutual relation with the human being and rest of nature. Human being is a coexistence of self and body. Need of human being is continuous happiness is basically the need of self. What is are the needs of physical facilities for the body, to nurture the body, to protect the body, to rightly utilize the body. Which among the following is not a need of self? Physiochemical things. Need of self is fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling. Which of the following is not an activity of self? Continuous happiness. Which among the following is not an activity of our body? Assuming. Body sends the information, that is sensation, to the self. Self reads the sensation and gives the instructions to the body. Needs and activities of the self are continuous. Needs and activities of the body are temporary. To see the reality as it is in its completeness, it is called knowing. Acceptance without the basis of knowing is called assuming. Awaking to the activity of contemplation leads to clarity of relationship, natural characteristics, or participation in the larger order. I can directly see, that is, know the reality, harmony, that is self organization and submergence. The essence is definite. This comes as realization. I can directly see my relationship with this reality, that is natural characteristics. I have natural acceptance to fulfill this relationship. This is called contemplation. When we see through the sensation, we are using the self and body. When we see what is rational, we are using the following activities of the self, that is tasting and analyzing. Understanding means to know about the innateness of the four orders. Realization means to know about the coexistence of four orders. I can directly see my relationship with this reality. I have a natural acceptance to fulfill this relationship. This is called contemplation. Which among the following is not an element of a right understanding, that is jnana, is preconditioning. On what basis we can decide our feelings and thoughts is right understanding and the assumption both. The statement I remain uncomfortable in the harmony in the state of happiness within deals with all of this. The statement I remain uncomfortable in disharmony is the state of unhappiness in contradiction within does not deal with I can decide in favor of the feeling that is naturally acceptable to me. Which among the following feeling is not naturally acceptable? Feeling of struggle. What indicates I will be in a state of continuous happiness is all. What are the three realities to know for a human being is knowledge of human being existence and human conduct. The property of a unit which cannot be separated from it is called as innateness or self-organization. The need for the physical facility is nurturing, protection, and right utilization of body. What is not an indicator of a good health in self and body? Feeling of jealousy, competition, anger for others. From physical facilities, we want prosperity. From the dynamic activity of tasting is selecting. The state of activity of authentication is realization. The state activity of determination is understanding. The state activity of imaging is contemplation. The state activity of analyzing is comparing. The state activity of selecting is tasting. And source of imagination are natural acceptance, precondition, and sensation. The pleasure obtained from the sensation is short lived and temporary. Behavior and work are the outcomes of the desired thoughts and expectation. Sensation is stimulus which our sensory organs make us feel. When we assume something about based on the prevailing notions, it is called preconditioning. Right understanding of the body, that is, body is an instruction of self, is all of these. Role of the physical facility or the right understanding of the physical facility is acquiring profit, that is both A and B. What are the sources of continuous happiness is right feeling and thought in us. What method helps us to have continuous happiness is having harmony within. The activity of desire is reflected in the form of imaging. The activity of expectation is reflected in the form of selecting or tasting. The activity of thought is reflected in the form of analyzing. And the activity of realization means clarity of coexistence and submergence. The activity of understanding means clarity of harmony and innateness. Which among the following statements specify that term harmony has a basis for the activity of comparing is clarity of innateness, self-organization, interconnectedness, mutual fulfillment with entire nature? Which among the following types of tasting is towards sensation for nurturing, protection of the body, and for the sharing feelings is sensation based? Which among the following is not correct about the right understanding of senses? Use of senses is getting sensory pleasure. Which is or the prevailing means of escape from unhappiness, depression is all. Overeating, oversleeping, alcohol and drugs, violence or suicide, etc. The activity of material is recognizing and fulfilling. In animals, only the activity of analyzing is predominant. Coexistence or submergence is seen by self at the level of realization. System of the body works in a self-organized way. The capacity of thoughts and desires thoughts could lead to the desires. The activity of desires, thoughts, and expectation together is called imagination. Let us go with the second set of the Module 2. The concept of harmony in the human beings emphasizes the coexistence of which of the two elements? One is our self and the body. What is the key to understanding the harmony in the self? It is self awareness. According to the syllabus, the body is considered as an instrument of the self. The needs of the self and the body can be distinguished by observing the thoughts and desires. Which of the following programs aims to ensure the self-regulation and health is yoga and meditations and sessions? What does harmony of the self with the body entail? It is maintaining the physical and mental well-being. Which of the following statements the best describe the concept of harmony in human beings? It is balancing the needs of the body and soul. How can self regulation be promoted? It is by practicing the self discipline and self control. In context to the human values, what does harmony in human beings refer to? Achieving inner coherence and integration. Which of the following is not a component of the harmony in the self? It is financial stability. What is the purpose of considering the body as an instrument of self? It is to maintain the health and the function body. How can the harmony of the self with the body be improved? By practicing the mindfulness and self care. Which of the following program aims to promote the self regulation and health in the individual? Stress management programs. What role does the self awareness play in achieving the harmony in self? It helps us to recognize the understanding in one's needs and desires. Which of the following statements the best describes the harmony in human being? It is the integration of the various aspects of the self. What is the significance of distinguishing between the needs of the self and body? This facilitates the self control and regulation. How can harmony of the self with the body be maintained? By practicing the self care and healthy lifestyle habits. Which of the following practices can contribute to the harmony of the self in body? Developing the regular exercise routine. How does self regulation contribute to the overall well being of an individual? It fosters the healthy relationship with others. What is the primary purpose of program designed by self-regulation and health? It is to promote overall well-being and balance. How does understanding harmony in the self contribute to professional ethics? It fosters the empathy and ethical conduct towards others. Which of the following best describes the relationship between the self and body? The self and body are interdependent and interconnected. What is the role of self-regulation in maintaining the harmony in the self? It facilitates the self-discipline and balance. How can one differentiate between the needs of the self and body? By understanding the nature and desires and their origins? Which of the following is a key aspect of harmony in the self? It is balancing the various aspects of self. What is the significance of harmony in the self to professional ethics? It encourages empathy and ethical conduct towards others. How can a self regulation contribute to the harmony of the self with the body? By practicing the self control and moderation, meditation or moderation. Which of the following best describes the concept of the harmony in human being? Fostering a sense well being and the inner coherence. What is the relationship between the self regulation and health? Is self regulation promotes the physical and mental well being? How can the harmony in the self be achieved? It is by recognizing by and balancing various aspects of self. Which of the following is not a characteristic of the harmony in self? It is inner conflict and turmoil. What is the significance of considering the body as an instrument of the self? It highlights the interdependence of the self and body. How does the harmony in the self contribute to the professional success? It enhances the decision making skills and judgment. What roles does self awareness play in maintaining the harmony in self? It fosters the empathy and understanding towards others. Which of the following practices that promotes the harmony of the self with body? Practicing mindfulness and self care. What is the purpose of program designed to ensure the self regulation and health to foster a personal growth and well being? How can self regulation contribute to the professional ethics by fostering ethical conduct and moral values? Which of the following is an essential aspect of harmony in human being, integrating the various aspects of self in balanced manner? How can one ensure the self regulation and health in their life by practicing a self discipline and self control? Next, what is the primary objective of understanding harmony in the human being is to promote the self awareness and self regulation. So, this was all about the module 2. Stay tuned and stay updated for the module 3 and the next previous year question papers and some other question banks. So, do like, share, and subscribe to Exam Ignite for the further videos. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.